Welcome back. You're watching News X. My name is Vineet Malhotra. Well, as India celebrates its 78th Independence Day, we take a moment to look back at our history, particularly at the great triumph of our armed forces in 1971. Today, we pay tribute to the valor, grit and sacrifice of all those heroes who defended the motherland and fought and brought glory to India. We have with us 7 veterans who fought valiantly in the 1971 war, whose efforts yielded victory for India within merely 13 days. Let's hear it from them, their tales of sacrifice and their success. Joining us today at this point in time is Lieutenant General Zameer Uddin Shah. Colonel Ashok Tara also joins us on the show. Major General G.G. Dwivedi is with us on the broadcast as well. Brigadier B.K. Khanna joins us on the show as well. Wing Commander S.S. Krishnamurthy is here. Lieutenant Colonel Kulvinder Singh joins us on the program as well, and Colonel V.K. Sahi will also be joining us on the program shortly. All right, starting with Lieutenant General Zameer Uddin Shah, who was posted in the Jaisalmer sector during the war in 1971. He helped lead part of the operations at the Longewala when 120 Indians faced 4,000 Pakistani troops. Prior to the war, then Chief of Army Staff Sam Manekshaw visited the sector to boost the morale of the troops. Here, Field Marshal Manekshaw gave a list of instructions pertaining to the conduct of the troops during the war. This was Lieutenant General Shah's first of several meetings with Sam Manekshaw. Field Marshal Manekshaw's leadership displayed, as Lieutenant General Shah has described in his memoir, left a lasting impact on him as well. Lieutenant General Zameer Uddin Shah, sir, appreciate you speaking with us. Sir, it's 15th August. It's our Independence Day, the 78th at that. But we're going to go back in history to that day in 1971 when, Sam Manekshaw, in fact, took charge of the situation. How do you remember that meeting with him, sir?
Firstly, I would like to thank NewsX for inviting me. Also, I would like to convey greetings to all Indians on the Independence Day. In 1971, I was a young captain and I had 3 years service. And in September 71, we moved to a place short of the north. And there was a lot of rumor mongering going on. Are we going to go into Pakistan? Are we not? Till in September, Field Marshal Manekshaw, September, October, he was called in to address all troops of the Battle Axe Division. We were about 300 to 400 officers sitting on a sand dune, and there was a table with a 4G blanket and a microphone. And we heard Sam Manekshaw's chopper landing. He came down to where we were sitting, brushed aside the chair, climbed out onto the table and said, "I don't need a mic," and addressed us loudly. And he says 3 or 4 things which were ingrained in my mind. First, he said, "Ensure victory." Second, he says, "I am giving you orders. Prisoners of war will not be ill-treated." Next, he said, "There'll be no looting or booty taking." And lastly, he said, "Keep away from the Begums." That he meant Pakistani women. He jumped off the table after his short address to us, had a cup of tea in the regulation mug, and was off to another formation. So this short, crisp address had us totally motivated. We knew that we are going to go in. There was no doubt about it. And we were already prepared, but we got thoroughly ready, absolutely ready. I would say that Sam Manekshaw was an enigma. He had this quality where he could enthuse the entire command. Let it be a war game, let it be military matters, and let it be humor. I mean, he could banter endlessly. So this is the sort of leader. Now, let me also tell you that at that time in 1971, the government of India was under a lot of pressure from Bengali refugees who had come in from Bangladesh, 6 million of them. And Sam Manekshaw was given a hint that he should go into East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, as soon as possible. He advised the Prime Minister against such an action in June or July for 2 or 3 reasons. Firstly, he explained that the passes with China would be open, so they could interfere. Next, the rivers, and Bangladesh is riverine territory, would be in spate, and that would impede operations. Mrs. Gandhi took this advice and gave him November or December for the operation. So 3rd December was the time when Pakistan launched a preemptive attack on Jodhpur and other airfields. Our ammunition column, my regiment was in Tanaut. The ammunition column moving in from Jodhpur got enmeshed in this whole thing, but reached us safely. So we were totally ready because of the great leadership provided by Sam Manekshaw. I think leaders of that quality, leaders who have this ability to enthuse their subordinates, is totally essential in the armed forces. Sam Manekshaw was, I would say, the best military leader I've had the privilege of serving under. And if you want more details of what happened, I can cover it. But this
So what are your some of your other memories from 1971?
Yes. So we waited, and on 3rd of December 1971, as I said, Pakistan launched a preemptive attack. Of course, we were to go in on 4th December from Tanaut. Our objective was Rahim Yar Khan, which is in Pakistani Sindh, which is a communication and railway center. So the entire division was in the forward assembly area north of Tanaut. And on the night 3rd, 4th December, we launched a preemptive operation onto a fortress called Islamgarh. All this is covered in this wonderful book written by my officer of my regiment, who was a battery commander, Lieutenant Colonel Kulwinder Singh. It gives graphically all the details. The Pakistanis smelled a rat, and we were going in from Tanaut. They came in from the west via Longewala. They launched their offensive on the 3rd and had the aim of bypassing Longewala, which was held by one company of the 23 Punjab and one battery of 1701 field battery. They had plans of bypassing Longewala and Sadiwala and going in straight for Jaisalmer. Fortunately, the terrain was very hostile and their mechanized and soft vehicles got bogged down. So they only reached Longewala on night 4th, 5th December. By that time, there was change in the orders given, and they were told to attack Longewala on night 4th, 5th December. We were to the east of this Pakistani column going in. If we had gone in earlier, they would have struck our rear. So we turned westwards and headed for Longewala. My regiment,
Right,
with the leading battery under Major Kulwinder, now Colonel Kulwinder Singh, deployed at Longewala
All right, sir.
on morning of 4th, 5th December and provided effective gunfire.
All right, sir.
The effect of this was that we separated the Pakistani armor from the infantry, which allowed next morning the Air Force to come in and destroy the Pakistani tanks. So this was the initial action on morning of 4th, 5th December. After that, the Pakistanis withdrew. They lost, it was 22 armored regiment. They lost a whole lot of tanks. We pursued them into Pakistani Sindh, and there we sat for another 6 months without much opposition. And the only problem we had was the scorpions and the snakes and the mosquitoes. But this was a memorable stay in.
So thank you for recounting that story. That's a great narration. Thank you so much, sir.